Deion Sanders, a name synonymous with swagger, skill, and relentless drive, transcends the boundaries of a mere athlete. Nicknamed Primetime, he wasn't just a player, he was a showman. His flashy interceptions and dazzling touchdown celebrations solidified his place as a pop culture icon. His ability to seamlessly transition between sports cemented his status as a rare breed. He was an athlete with exceptional talent. He is a captivating figure who dominated two professional sports, and is now etching his legacy in the coaching realm. But how good was Prime Time? Sanders was born in Fort Myers, Florida. His parents divorced when he was still a toddler. His father, Mims Sanders, battled drug abuse throughout his life and died in 1993 from a brain tumor. His mother, Connie, later married Willie Knight, who became Deion's stepfather. By the age of 8, Deion was competing in organized baseball and football. At North Fort Myers High School, Sanders was all-state in football, baseball, and basketball. On the football field, he played both cornerback and quarterback. On the basketball court, he could score with ease. After one hot night of shooting that saw Sanders score 30 points, a friend gave him his nickname, Primetime, that has stuck ever since. At only 17 years old, Sanders was already being scouted by the Kansas City Royals. He was even selected in the 6th round of the MLB draft. Sanders agreed to a $40,000 contract, which was a lot for a 6th round pick, but he eventually changed his mind and enrolled at Florida State. Sanders played 3 sports for the Seminoles: football, baseball, and track. In his freshman year, he started in the Seminoles secondary, played outfield for the baseball team that finished 5th in the nation, and helped lead the track and field team to a conference championship. He would eventually lead the Seminoles baseball club to the College World Series and the football team to the Sugar Bowl. As a cornerback for the Seminoles, Sanders displayed exceptional speed, agility, and coverage skills. The following 3 years, Sanders had an exceptional career under legendary coach Bobby Bowden. He finished his career at Florida State as a 2-time football All-American with 14 interceptions and was the 1988 Jim Thorpe Award winner for the top defensive back. He was not only a shutdown corner, but a dynamic returner as well. His senior year, he led the nation with 503 punt return yards. One of his most memorable moments was versus Clemson. Sanders started rolling things 3.5 minutes into the second half with a 76-yard punt return for a touchdown, to tie the score 14-14, and to give the Seminoles much needed momentum, and said this: "I want the Heisman now, forget the Jim Thorpe Award." During the NFL Combine, Sanders said he would only run the 40, and he didn't disappoint on his second run. He was clocked at a 4.27, and he kept running all the way to his limo, and nobody seen him after that. Teams were skeptical about his persona. In fact, the Giants, who had the 10th overall pick, interviewed Sanders, and he said, quote, "I'll be gone before then. I'll see y'all later." Funny enough, he didn't lie, as he was selected 5th overall by the Atlanta Falcons in the 1989 NFL Draft. At the time, they thought that Sanders would concentrate solely on football, but Neon Deion, as he was sometimes called by others, had other things in mind. Sanders signed on to play with the New York Yankees, playing the outfield in the summer of 1989 for the franchise AAA club in Columbus, Ohio. When he was called up to the parent club, he hit his first home run against Seattle on September 5th. That same week, after a long contract negotiation period, Sanders and the Falcons agreed on a 4-year, $4.4 million deal. 3 days after inking the deal, he justified the big money by running back his first punt return for a score, making him the only athlete ever to hit a home run and get a touchdown the same 7-day period. After posting 158 batting average in 57 games with the Yankees in 1990, he was released and then signed by the Atlanta Braves. The speedy outfielder had his best season of his baseball career in 1992, batting a .304 with the league-leading 14 triples as he helped the Braves reach the World Series. He would eventually become the first athlete to play in the Super Bowl and in the World Series. His last season with the Falcons was in 1993. He had a total of 24 interceptions during his 5 years with the Falcons, was a 3-time Pro Bowler, and 2-time All-Pro during that time. Primetime wasn't gonna cement his legacy as a member of the Atlanta Falcons, so when he had the chance to leave, he did. Sanders made the move to the Bay Area, and his legend grew. The first leg of Deion's free agent tour landed him with the ready-to-win San Francisco 49ers, who just needed a player like Sanders to push them over the edge and to beat the Cowboys. Some may say this was his best season ever, as he finished with 6 interceptions and 3 were returned for touchdowns. His career-high 303 yards gained on interception return yards with the 49ers was 3rd best ever in the NFL at the time of his retirement. Sanders was also selected as the Defensive Player of the Year. He also finished 4th in the MVP voting and was selected to another Pro Bowl and All-Pro. Sanders delivered, and the 49ers were able to hoist their first non-Montana Super Bowl trophy. The sweet taste of victory didn't last long in San Francisco, as Sanders was on the move the very next offseason, this time to the Niners' playoff rival, the Dallas Cowboys. America's team let Deion be primetime. It was a gamble for Dallas to make Sanders the highest paid defensive player in the league. He didn't make his debut until the middle of the season. which raised many questions. He was not only the best cornerback in the league, but he was also a dynamic returner and receiver for the Cowboys. During the 1996 season, Sanders had over 400 receiving yards and 3 interceptions. The Cowboys went on to win the Super Bowl that year. Sanders went on to play for the Cowboys for 5 seasons, was a 4-time Pro Bowler, and 3-time All-Pro during that time. He then went on to sign a 7-year deal worth $56 million with the Redskins. And after just 1 season, he suddenly retired at the age of 33. But knowing Deion, this couldn't be the last time he would be on the football field. He would eventually sign with the Ravens at the age of 37. He played for 2 more seasons and added 5 more interceptions to his legendary career. He officially retired at the age of 38. The Hall of Famer finished his career as a 9-time All-Pro, 8-time Pro Bowler, along with 53 interceptions and along with 22 touchdowns. And now, Sanders is looking to add to his legendary legacy. He's currently the head coach of Colorado and is looking to turn their program into a powerhouse. And if there's one man who can do it, his name is Deion Sanders.